Today we're making gluten-free graham crackers. You want to preheat your oven to 325. You need a cup of baking mix. I'm going to use Bloomfield Farms, or you can just mix the flours yourself and just use like bean flour, tapioca flour, maybe some cornstarch, some rice flour, and just do equal parts of each to make a cup. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. If your baking mix comes with xanthan gum already in it, you don't need to add it. But if you don't have a baking mix and you're using your own flours, at this point you want to add a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum as well, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk it all together. Now I'm going to add 3½ tablespoons of butter. It's cold. I just chopped it up in little pieces, and I'm going to use my pastry cutter to incorporate it. You want to do that until the pieces of butter are teeny tiny, like you see here. Okay, I've moved my bowl to my mixer and I put my dough hook on. You want to add 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. You need to add 1.5 tablespoons of honey. I'm just going to eyeball it. And then I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of water. I'm going to start off with that, but if I need more, I'm going to add it 1 tablespoon at a time. I ended up adding a total of 4 tablespoons of water, and I think now it's at the consistency where it's finally coming together. I've put some parchment paper in my baking pan. I plopped the dough ball right in the middle of the cookie sheet, and I used my little rolling pin to just roll it out to be about 1/8 of an inch thick. Take my gluten-free pizza cutter, courtesy of Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm going to score where I want the crackers to cut. Okay, this part doesn't have to be perfect, but if you want to measure and make them perfect, by all means. Now you just take a fork and you just poke holes all over them. Give them a light sprinkle with sugar. And now bake them in the oven for 20 minutes. They are done, and now I'm just letting them cool. After they've cooled, you want to break them apart. Now for the two tests. Are they crispy? Yes, they are. And here is the finished product. They're crispy, they're golden, they're delicious, they are gluten-free. I recommend this recipe to everyone.